Good afternoon, we are the Team 2, and this is our PIA presentation, Air Pollution in Nuevo León.
Introduction. In this presentation, we are going to talk about the big problematic that is the pollution in our state, Nuevo León, but specifically in the type of pollution that is the air, since it is one of the ones that most affect our health, describing it, telling its causes, and the consequences that this problem produces. Also, we will explain some proposals to solve in a very deep way this problem. However, we will emphasize in the Clean Air Act. Also, we will mention how you can help to the metropolitan area of Nuevo León to have a good air quality. And in addition, we will mention how this proposal is really effective, since the results prove that the air quality can be improved. It is only a matter of effort and dedication.
The problem. Air pollution is one of the biggest causes of death. More than 6 million people die every year because of this. Monterrey is one of the cities with more air pollution in Mexico, and this represents a big environmental and health problem for all the population that is 4.1 million of people. One of the reasons we think that there is a lot of pollution in Nuevo León, or even more in metropolitan area, is because of the industry of limestone extraction, producing big amounts of toxic emission of particulate matter and gaseous pollutants like sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen from the Topo Chico, Las Mitras, and La Sierra Madre San Miguel. Another reason why Nuevo León has a lot of air pollution is because of the amount of cars used in the city. Nuevo León hosts almost 3 million cars, with Monterrey being the most circulated city in Mexico. With this, we can say that these two reasons are the main ones. Nuevo León and mostly the metropolitan area has a lot of air pollution.
Hypothesis and proposal. Community level vehicle proposal. In a community, we can suppose that people living in there need to go off their surroundings until a certain point where everyone take their way to their respective jobs. This means that carpool can be implemented in order to have less vehicle flow coming out of the same place. Activities like properly inflating the tires of a car, taking care and properly using the fueling system of the vehicle can reduce the work made by engine, which could lead to less fuel combustion and subsequently less pollution. Polluting rights and environmental compensation. Every company has a limit and accountable number of pollutants that can release. These polluting rights can be traded among other enterprises with the only condition that there has to be a compensation in environmental goods, such as trees and green areas. This means that a firm can buy as such much polluting rights as they can and want, but should have to invest in the environmental as well. In order to measure the amount of contaminant particles released, tips should be placed in the expulsion air ducts of the fabrics in order to record how much a company pollutes the air. General Law of Air Quality and Protection of the Atmosphere. This law is from Mexico and indicates that the governments of the federative or municipal entities that operate air quality monitoring systems, which include one or a set of automatic monitoring stations, must disseminate the air quality and health risk index in the areas in which operate safe systems. The other one is Clean Air Act. This law is from USA. The Clean Air Act is the comprehensive federal law that relates air emissions from stationary and mobile sources, among other things. This law authorizes EPA to establish national ambient air quality standards to protect public health and public welfare and to regulate emission of hazardous and air pollutants.
As we already mentioned, the we are going to emphasize in the implementation of Clean Air Act, and since the implementation of this law, we can see clearly the decrease in the main air pollutants, which are carbon monoxide, lead, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, particulate matter, which can be particulate matter with micron 10 or 2.5 microns. And since the main air pollutants decrease, we can see an improvement in the public health and in the conditions of the environment. The days of bad air quality in the United States also decreased since its implementation because the air pollutants decreased. They use an air quality index to see if they had a good or bad air quality, which works similarly to the IMECA index, which is used in Nuevo León and in Mexico in general. Here we can see the clearly decrease of the air pollutants, and here we can see also the decrease of the days of bad air quality.
Conclusion. As human beings, we live in a world of excesses and without limits. Culturally, we do not have the habit of saving and living measurably, thinking about the future of the planet. We consume even what the nature cannot give us, as we look for a way to create it. Time advances, and we do not believe that resources are going to be exhausted. Possibly, we do not have to live this situation, but we can leave the cultural heritage to the next generations to achieve a change in ourselves and transmit and share the idea at all times. The consumable amount of everything that we have at our disposal today is an excess, as well as the lack of caring for the environment. Everyone decides what they want to live in life, and each one of us makes the decision to implement and make a routine friendly to the planet and the community to minimize impact on the environment using daily resources reasonably. With the proposals that we saw previously and the favorable results it has had, Nuevo León can also implement a similar law, and we can say that this could help contribute to a better environmental life condition in the future, and the ecosystem that is part of it can be preserved and the stability for life on our planet Earth.
Thanks for your attention.